Thanks for joining today. What I wanted to do is walk you through our Cartwheel application here and let you see how your orders are going to progress in real time. What you'll notice here is just a simple classic ordering form. Today we're using the Olo instance. You can see, basic information such as type of order, when it needs to be delivered, and where it's going. You can also see where the customer has the option to put in some additional notes for the driver. Maybe they live in a high rise and they need to communicate, hey, please call. I'll come down as soon as you give me a call. I know that the parking's tough, something along those lines. Let's go ahead and generate this order right now. Now that the order's been generated, we can see that it's living here in the dispatch map, right? You can notice some polygons or geofencing, whatever you'd prefer to call it. With this is where we can create some rules and rule sets. Now, today at Cartwheel, we've created just about over 1 million different rules because we work with so many different unique businesses, right? Just because there's a franchise doesn't mean every location is the same. Think Omaha, Nebraska versus New York City, right? Delivery can be quite different in that scenario. In the event that you don't want to have the auto dispatch, you can always run our system manually. You can assign this to a driver within your fleet. We could also push this out to a third party such as Uber Direct or DoorDash Drive. These polygons and geofences can be used to benefit your business, create it more efficient, and really utilize your staff for the most volume and help them make more money. So let's say within this shaded polygon area, we can call it 2 miles around the restaurant, right? Maybe that's the area you only want your internal deliveries to go. You notice that, hey, most of our deliveries are living within a 2-mile radius. So let's keep our drivers close to home and keep those customers happy. However, let's say there's an order that goes 3 miles out that's currently going to be handled by Uber Direct, but it's a $500 order and you'd rather keep that dollar amount in-house, right? That should be a pretty good tip for your driver. So we can create rules that go against each other. So, any order over $500 up to 10 miles, I want my internal fleet to do, and so on. Completely customizable to your business. Now, this whole browser system here is also available on the iPad, right? So you're able to use this on an iPad. We understand that, kitchen space, people are using their knuckles to kind of punch buttons over here. Computers can get a little messy when placed in like the kitchen or expo area for delivery. The really nice features we have here are some hybrid abilities, right? So let's say you want your drivers to handle that 2-mile radius. Because of our relationship pricing with Uber Direct today, you want to have those drivers handle from 2 miles to 5 miles. And let's say those 5 miles to 10-mile delivery, you'd prefer to have DoorDash Drive do. We can absolutely build that rule set. Now, maybe we want to have a catering order get delivered. Now, maybe someone in your fleet has a sedan and the other person has a van, right? Maybe it makes more sense to flag the vehicle based on a dollar amount or amount of items in an order to use that catering van, right? Let's say there's 15 pizzas getting delivered. That might be tough to deliver to a customer in, say, a small sedan or something like that, where the van makes a lot more sense. So this is kind of how the dispatch area works. You can create teams for different restaurants in your area. You can really utilize our hybrid technology here and our AI auto dispatch. You can create rules where maybe a driver is only able to accept an order within a half mile or a mile of the restaurant. That way it's not first person to look at their phone, but the most efficient one to handle that delivery for the customer. Now we're going to hop over and dive into the Cartwheel app. What we're going to show you here is what the driver feels, right? What are they experiencing during this whole scenario? Now we can see here, we've got some orders on here, but we'll go ahead and claim this most recent one. Once the order's been claimed, we can go ahead and check the route page. It's going to hop on over here. Now, let's say I need directions to head back on over to the restaurant. I'm unfamiliar with the area. Maybe I'm a new driver. All I have to do to get home or back to the restaurant is simply click that map icon and boom, loads up the address and takes me right to it. Now, that map is available in either Google Maps, Apple Maps, or Waze. Today, the driver app is available on Android or iOS for your drivers, so they do get some customization there and set their preferences to what makes them feel most comfortable. So let's go ahead and say I am arrived at the restaurant. I want to go ahead and double check my order. Let's make sure we've got everything here before I head on out to the customer. Now, this is not a mandatory option. This is just something we consider best practice for delivery drivers. That way we can make sure everything is checked and good to go for the customer. Maybe you want them to take a picture for a catering order, right? Make sure it looks nice and everything to keep the customer happy. We also have a way to take a picture and upload that into the system. We'll go ahead and complete this order. Now I want to hop over and show you what your customers are experiencing today during this whole order. So right now you can see our customer got a text message saying the order's been received. Track its progress here. Now this link stays the same throughout the entire experience for your customer. However, we've noticed that during a delivery, the customer typically clicks that link about 9 times. This is a great option for the restaurant to do some personal branding, use this as a marketing spend, if you will, right? Logo up on top. I don't see DoorDash, Grubhub, or, Uber Eats anywhere on this. Even if it's being delivered by a third party through your first party ordering, you can notice that this is completely customized to your brand and its experience. Let's say you want to do a promotion, large 2-topping pizza, or maybe highlight a new menu item or a seasonal special that you're running today. This is a great place to do it. Now, similar to some of the big guys like Uber and DoorDash, we give your customers the option to communicate with the driver, either via texting or calling. Now, all of this is done via privacy masking, right? So we're going to maintain the privacy for your customers and your drivers. Communication goes through, and it also works with the third-party drivers. This way, the customer is able to communicate late order. Maybe there's an issue, whatever they need to do. Maybe they're out walking their dog and they're not going to be home when the delivery's there. And they simply want to ask them to do a contactless delivery. That is totally something that this app is here for. You'll notice that it's been picked up by our driver. The status updates here. And if dispatch needs to, they could communicate with the driver by a simple message by clicking this little icon here. Now I'll head back on over to the driver app and take a look at what's going on here. So again, a simple click of this map takes me to head to the customer. Pretty easy and seamless there. No fumbling around with paper, copy and pasting, any of those typical issues we hear from drivers today. And we'll go ahead and check this order. So the customer says, please call on arrival. So let's give them a ring, right? All I have to do is click on that phone icon. It'll simply call the customer, again, using call masking, protecting the privacy of both parties. Maybe they wanted that contactless delivery because they're out walking their dogs. Your drivers have an option to upload a picture. This helps secure the restaurant saying, hey, no, we have a picture of the food outside your residence in the event that the customer wants to say the food was not delivered. We do have an ID scan feature. If the company or restaurant is doing alcohol delivery, that is a compliant feature there. So we know it works and it works well. We can go ahead and verify the order with the customer. Maybe there's some confusions, questions on that end, or you're just being a great driver and you really want to let them know, hey, here's your order. Hope you enjoy it. In this instance here, what we want to do is we want to create a signature. Maybe you want to use this for a large catering order or something along those lines. Totally an option that we have here. And now we can complete that drop-off. Now, once the drop-off's been completed, that tracking link, you'll notice I didn't click anything, no sleight of hands here, turns into a review collection. Now, 1 through 3 stars, right? We want to probe the customer and kind of ask why. We consider anything under 4 stars, a negative review, and kind of a complaint. Maybe it had to do with the delivery. Maybe it had to do with the food. We found a lot today that on Google reviews for restaurants, people are complaining about the delivery experience that could have been handled by a third party, not relevant to the restaurant. And so this gives them a space to vent and complain and maybe get their frustrations out to avoid going to your Google page. A really nice feature about this is we can have it set up so it pings someone on your team. Maybe it's a regional manager, a general manager, whoever it may be, and let them know that a recent order came through with a negative review. The basic customer information will be there so that the manager or whoever chosen can contact that customer and see if they can reconcile what happened there. Maybe they say, hey, it looks like someone sat on my pizza. Smush, crazy, right? So in that instance, you can reconcile the customer, refund if needed, and maybe handle that dispute with whatever third party handled that delivery, whether it be Uber or DoorDash. Maybe it was your driver. And ask, hey, what's going on? Why did the pizza look smashed upon arrival? And just try and collect some feedback. Now, the event that it's a 4 or 5-star review, we do see that 4-star reviews within this review collection do turn to a 5-star review when we ask them to rate you on Google reviews. So the simple click here. Now, most consumers like myself are already logged into their Google account, and this would bring up that respective location's Google review page. I know when I travel, I type in restaurants near me and I start looking for reviews. Helps that brand grow, some recognition online, some credibility, especially for those young startup brands, right? Helps the public know, hey, this place is great, their food's great, and I had an awesome experience. So it's a really great feature for you to utilize. And the fact that, a lot of companies today may be working with a third-party review collection tool. We can work with that as well and embed that link. That way, all the reporting stays the same. Now, you'll notice we can hop over here, and there's some nice little tabs here. We can go ahead and click Run Reports. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the reports available. Essentially, if you have a report in mind that you want to create data from, and if it's data that we collect, let us know. We'll work together and build the template, and we can collect that and build reports for you so it's a seamless experience. Here would be your guest satisfaction report. Maybe you want to target delivery delays internally. Maybe your drivers need tip reporting. You can provide them with that, but the lovely thing about our app here is that they can actually see their tips for the day, right? You can notice, okay, I did 2 deliveries today. I've made 53.48, and they can continue to scroll back on that calendar above and click, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, right? And go back a few weeks, a few months, whatever they need to do to verify they're getting paid correctly. If they need to communicate with the dispatch, they can simply click that chat icon and that will work for them there. But in short, that's our experience here at Cartwheel, right? We're able to work with hybrid delivery when we know that, restaurants today are having trouble staffing, not just drivers, but pretty much every role within the restaurant, right? So this is a great way to maintain your volume or increase your volume, create a customized experience for your customer, and then give your driver the tools they need to be more efficient with their processes today, right? Make sure that customer is getting that top-notch experience, keeping your drivers organized. When it comes to multiple orders, we use smart dispatch, and what that will do is kind of trigger the best route for your employees to take when delivering those orders. Maybe in the event that you want to have it you want to throttle your orders to just 3, right? And you have 2 drivers on staff today. Let's say both those drivers are out with 3 orders right now, and a 7th order comes in. What happens, right? We automatically push that out based on the rules created, and that can be sent to Uber Direct or DoorDash. That way your customers are still getting their food in a timely manner, your orders are being fulfilled, and your drivers are able to complete their current orders in a timely manner.